Hey y'all, it's Tiffie. Welcome back to my journey and my tribe. And if you haven't joined my tribe already, don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. So today I am pleased to announce that I will be doing my final emergency fund update for 2019. As of February 15th, my emergency fund is fully funded. Yay! Super excited about that. So I printed this out to show you all, to share with you. So as you know, in the beginning, my goal was to fund my emergency fund to $2,000. And I'll also leave this just up here for you to see as I talk. And so I've been working to do that over the past 2 months in January and February. And so as you know, I started my emergency fund with $1,000 that I rolled over from 2018. And then it was my goal to add an additional $1,000 to my emergency fund for a total of $2,000 before I started working on my credit cards for this year. So on February 15th, I made my last contribution to my emergency fund of $150. And now my current emergency fund balance is $2,000. And so I'll be able to now take like 2 seconds to celebrate and just be happy that I was able to accomplish that. But I want to keep on chugging along and move on now to working on my credit card as well as some sinking funds. And so sinking funds are something new I'm going to be talking about. And some of you all may already know what your sinking funds are if you're a fan of Dave Ramsey. So sinking funds are funds that you know that of money, like little chunks and sets of money that you contribute to over time to put away when you know something's coming up. So when you get to that particular event, you already have the cash. And so I'll just show you here, and I'll also link it up above. I have hopefully you can see that clearly, 3 things in my 2019 sinking fund, and they're all dedicated to travel. So I will be going, a friend of mine is getting married, so I will be going to Dallas at the end of March to her wedding. And so I know that event is coming up. And so since it's still February, I have time to save up all the money that I'll need for that in cash ahead of time. Then after that, in May, I'll be going to Baltimore, Maryland for a conference. And so I already know, because I went last year, so I already know about what that's going to cost. And so I also am including that amount in my sinking fund to save up after I'm finished saving for going to the wedding. Then I'll move on to that to have that money in time before the trip actually comes. And then hopefully, it still isn't official, but I believe I'll be going to New Orleans in July to go to a professional development conference. And I've never been to New Orleans, so I'm super excited to be able to go there. But I also know that I'm going to need some money for the trip. So last year I went to the same conference. It was in Orlando. And so I have an idea, the cost should be roughly similar. So I have an idea of how much money that I would need to put away to have the cash up front for that trip as well. And so as soon as I get back from Baltimore, I'll start saving for that. So I wanted to just go ahead and share those things with you and kind of share the concept of a sinking fund, just in case you haven't implemented a sinking fund. And let me know below if you have sinking funds and what are your sinking funds dedicated to, and are you on track with funding them? It'd be nice to hear. So I haven't started putting away money for any of these sinking funds yet, because I just completed my emergency fund, which I'm super excited about. But now that'll be my next focus. So while I am putting away this money towards these sinking funds, I am also going to be working towards paying off my credit card. So I've come up with kind of like a budget of what I think I'll be paying each month towards the credit cards, because my only goal for the credit card is to make sure that it's paid off by the end of the year. And so I'm not gonna like be super duper aggressive, but I want to make sure that if I dedicate a little bit towards paying each and every month, that it'll be completely wrapped up by the end of the year, and that will be a huge accomplishment for me. So I am going to give you all in my up and coming videos updates on how my progress is with my sinking funds for these 3 travel items for this year, as well as paying off my credit card debt. So this video will be kind of short today. Oh, one more thing I almost forgot to mention. My book finally arrived, and I think I mentioned this book in my previous videos, but I'm really excited. It finally came here, and this is Chris Hogan's book, Everyday Millionaire. I'm like super excited to read it, and if any of you all have already gotten it and read it, let me know if you liked it. I haven't gotten started yet because I have midterms this week, so I have to study for those, and once I get past midterms, I'll be able to chug away at this little by little. But I'm really excited to get the book. And so this is, if you're not familiar with Chris Hogan, he's a Dave Ramsey personality, and he focuses on the retired, kind of like the retired population. And so his first book was Retire Inspired. So that was a great book. I actually bought that for my mom, which is cool. This is his second book. It's called Everyday Millionaires, and it's kind of like a synopsis of him interviewing. I'll just read it for you really quick if you're interested. It says, everywhere we turn, we hear negative financial news, that the American dream is dead or that the little man can't get ahead. Our culture feeds us that lie, and it's impossible to become a millionaire in America today. But it's time you heard the truth. And it says, in his newest book, Everyday Millionaires, the ordinary people built extraordinary wealth and how you can do it too. Chris Hogan destroys millionaire myths that keep everyday people from achieving financial independence. Chris and the Ramsey research team surveyed over 10,000 U.S. millionaires, discovering how these high net worth people reach their financial status. And the formula might surprise you. Millionaire status doesn't require inheriting a bunch of money or having a high-paying job. No. The path to becoming a millionaire is paved with more ordinary tools you either already have or that you can learn. Listen and learn from over 10,000 everyday millionaires who have done it and who believe it is possible for you too. So I'm very excited to read this book. I'm really happy that, he put it together. I did read The Millionaire Next Door a couple years ago, and that book just like completely surprised me because the majority of the people who they interviewed in the book were everyday millionaires, but they were people that lived next door to you or me. They didn't inherit the money. They didn't have super high paying jobs. A lot of them were teachers. Some of them, yes, were business owners, but it was like the very practical steps they applied in their lives to be able to save and invest and grow their money over time. And it was things that a lot of us have access to. It just requires some, not even necessarily sacrifice, because that always kind of comes with a negative connotation, but I would say just reprioritization of your goals and your everyday life goals to be able to designate money towards like getting out of debt or investing towards your retirement and your savings, or to start a business, or for something like travel, or whatever your small-term and long-term goals are. So I got this book, and I also got the audiobook. So I did get the physical book, which I actually am excited to place on my bookshelf, but I will be doing it via audiobook because your girl doesn't necessarily have time to sit down and physically flip pages, but I can definitely listen while I walk and while I go. So if anybody else has this book, please let me know if you got it or if you're interested in getting it, and we can read it together and do book club, because I haven't started yet, so we can start at the same time, and I think it'd be really exciting for us to do it together. So yeah, that's my update for now. I'm really excited to celebrate fully funding my emergency fund. And again, if you are following Dave Ramsey's plan, his baby step number 1 is to have a $1,000 emergency fund if you make more than $25,000 a year, and a $500 emergency fund if you make less than $25,000 a year. So let me know if you've been working on your emergency fund, if you already have it, where you stand. I would love for us to share this journey together. And so then the emergency fund's done. I gave you all my 3 sinking fund items this year. So I have the wedding in March, the first development conference in Baltimore in May, and then New Orleans for the second professional development conference in July. And so that's my sinking fund for 2019. And I will be working towards putting money away for those items while I'm paying off my Citibank credit card for the duration of the year. Thank you all for joining me. Again, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join Tiffie's tribe. I'm excited for you all to come along with me on this journey, and also to share your journey with me. I'll see you on the next one.